refused to be my brother's best woman after what his fiancée did to my blind cat, and now my family thinks I'm the problem. So my brother Derek got engaged last year to a woman named Brielle. At first she seemed perfect. Confident, polished, the kind of person who always knows exactly what to say. But that image didn't last long, because I have a cat named Luna. She is completely blind, but she is not helpless. She knows my apartment like a map. Every corner, every step, every piece of furniture. That consistency is how she feels safe. The first time Brielle came over, she looked at Luna and said, "Isn't it cruel to keep a blind animal alive?" I thought she was joking. She wasn't. Later, she told me I was being selfish for not putting Luna down, that I was forcing her to suffer. After that, I stopped inviting her over. I stayed polite for my brother's sake, but I kept my distance. Then a few months later, Brielle's apartment flooded, and somehow, despite everything, I still let her stay at my place. I had to leave town for a couple of days, and I thought nothing bad would happen. I was wrong. When I came back and opened the door, something felt off immediately. I walked inside and froze. My entire apartment had been rearranged. The couch was moved, the bookshelves were on different walls, and the chairs were not where they used to be. Everything was different, and instantly I panicked because I knew what that meant for Luna. I started calling her name. No response. I checked all her usual spots. Nothing. Then I heard a faint sound coming from under my bed. I dropped to the floor and looked underneath, and there she was. Curled up, shaking, terrified. She had small cuts on her face, and she looked exhausted, dehydrated, barely moving. I picked her up and she clung to me. That cat, who normally moves around with confidence, was completely broken. And then it hit me. For days, she had been trapped in a place she no longer recognized. No food, no water. Just walking into things over and over again, completely alone. I was shaking when I called Brielle and asked her what happened, and she said, "Oh, I wanted to surprise you. The old layout was boring." I couldn't even process that. I asked her, "What about Luna?" And she said, "She's blind." I didn't think it would matter. I ended the call. The next morning, I took Luna to the vet. She was severely dehydrated, had multiple minor injuries, and was under extreme stress. The vet told me that if I had come back even a little later, things could have been much worse. That was it for me. Something inside me just shut down. Then last month, Brielle called me like everything was normal and asked if I was still going to be her best woman at the wedding. Like nothing had happened. Like she didn't almost kill my cat. I didn't argue. I didn't explain. I just said, no. And she lost it. She started yelling that I was ruining her wedding over just an animal, that I was being dramatic and selfish. Then Derek called me. Same thing. He said she didn't mean it, that I was overreacting, that I needed to move on. Move on? From someone who ignored something I clearly cared about, crossed every boundary, and then acted like it was nothing? No. I told him I'm not standing next to someone who can do something like that and feel nothing. Now my family is divided. Some say I'm right. Others say I'm choosing a cat over my brother. But it's not about the cat. It's about what kind of person does something like that and doesn't even see the problem. So yeah, I refused. And honestly, I would make the same choice again.